have you know I have to have an oven. How will I be prepared for marriage otherwise? Hello, good morning.
Good morning, BBs. It's too early.
It sure is.
Welcome to the first, best, and only morning show in existence. Dagger, please quiet on the set. I'm Anthony Carboni.
And I'm Saige Ryan. And hey, we are rejoined by, somebody that I think Anthony has some things to work through with.
Why is that?
Alex is back.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've actually been here the entire time.
Yeah.
Oh,
When was he gone?
Yeah.
I told you guys that he had the memory of a goldfish.
Yep.
And it would be fine as soon as he got back here.
I
Welcome
appreciate
back,
that
Alex.
you missed me this week, but
Yeah. Well, welcome back. We're glad to have you back. How were your holidays? How was your time away?
it was lovely. It was very, very nice. I got to spend some time with my partner. I got to relax. I got to work still over the holidays.
What a joy to get to work still.
Wow.
I know. The grind never stops.
Yeah, but you missed us every day.
I did. I always miss you guys.
Alex would always text us in the morning about working. He'd be like, hustle culture, rise and grind.
Yeah.
Are you guys up yet?
He'd be
Yeah.
he'd be like, what would Marcus Aurelius say about you sleeping in?
Yeah.
Stoicism says that you shouldn't do that.
You know
Yeah.
how I feel about old Mark.
It's
You-
interesting that we were
We're
getting different
besties.
texts. I was getting a 6 a.m. You've got the same hours in the day as Beyonce.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I got that one too.
Oh, okay, cool,
Yeah,
cool,
no.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
Alex, listen, if anybody has any questions about the Sigma grind set, please direct them towards Aldermancy in the chat. Thank you.
I am going to cancel you on the internet, Anthony.
rise and grind, everybody. You know what? Sarah actually backed us up on this and confirms that Alex does have one of those Instagram accounts with inspirational quotes over lions.
That's right. And they're all blurry because a real...
I'm actually photographing the lions.
Whoa.
That's me in there.
Whoa, with heavy Instagram filters on them like it's 2012.
He uses Kelvin. He uses the Kelvin filter on it.
Yeah. I didn't even know that was still in app.
He says real motivation is orange.
Yeah. And most quotes are attributed to Albert Einstein, Marilyn Monroe, or Vin Diesel.
That's right. That's right. And those are the three most inspirational people I can think of. So
Yeah.
that's correct.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah,
friends
yeah.
with all of them personally.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Whoa. It's wild here. Anyways, good morning, everybody. We're so glad that you're here. I hope you're having a good start to your Wednesday or a good time zone wherever you are. We've got things to talk about today.
Sure.
We've got things. We're talking about that announced Xbox showcase. It's going to be a wild one considering Xbox has slowly consumed so much of games.
Yeah.
They keep and up all these different companies, and then we get a showcase that's all of them.
It's always fun to watch the showcase and see who Microsoft owns now that you didn't know that they owned.
Yeah.
And now that Embracer had to liquidate all of their people and potentially IPs, who knows who Microsoft picked up in the big Embracer sale?
Who knows? Maybe we'll find out tomorrow. We're going to be talking about some of the more information that we've got on that Apple Vision Pro, that extremely expensive Apple VR headset.
I wish that they would actually just make it more expensive. But
Yeah?
we'll talk more about that. Yeah.
Okay, all right. The Emmys happened,
Okay. Cool, man.
I guess. We're going to be talking a little bit about She-Hulk.
Yeah.
We're talking about John Wick.
That's right.
We got stuff to get to for you.
Yeah, we got tons and tons of things. Sage,
Yes, Anthony.
tell me about your life.
I'm
me
still
everything.
trying to find a place to live.
Yeah. You have one eyebrow hair. There you go. It was just, you had one that was curling down.
Thanks, bud.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Here, hold on.
Oh no! Mom! I'm still trying to find a place to put my things and sleep in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, as a human being, I
Yeah.
simply need a climate-controlled box
That's it.
with water and electricity.
Yeah.
I would simply like to exchange a fair amount of money for that.
Yeah. Well, that part is impossible. The fair word is definitely not a modifier that can be applied to the current housing market. But I found a place I'd like to put my things and myself. And I gave them all of their
And it's
requirements.
right into the sea.
Yeah.
It's right into the goddamn
It's
ocean.
straight into a fucking black hole.
I will walk into an abandoned mine shaft,
Yeah.
and you will never hear from me again.
Yeah. I would like to, like Tony Topaz in Rivervale, the alternate universe season of Riverdale, descend into the ocean like La Llorona. True story.
That's a true story.
Anybody else keeping up with Riverdale?
I miss Riverdale.
Go back in, man. I'm back in.
I thought they were done.
Well, I had never finished it. You didn't either.
Oh.
You got to finish it.
You got to finish that.
It only
Riverdale.
gets weirder. So I found a place that I would like to put both myself and my things. And I gave them all the things they asked for. They have, a list of requirements to have a place to put yourself and your things. And I said, okay, I meet all of your requirements to put myself and, in fact, my things. And they said, but you're a lady.
Oh.
Now, they didn't say, but you're a lady. But I did meet all of the requirements. And they said, well, we'd feel more comfortable if you had a co-signer. Do you have like a parent or something that can do that?
A co-signer? What? But you met all the requirements.
I met all the requirements, but I get asked when I tour apartments, what does one lady need with a 2-bedroom apartment? It's not that much. That's so dystopian. A 2-bedroom apartment.
Why do you need more than a solitary confinement size cell?
Yeah.
What do you think you would do with a fair amount of space?
All a woman really needs is a closet and a kitchen. Am I right?
Yeah.
And they're very confused what I would do with all this extra space.
You stay in the closet and you cry all day.
Yeah.
Until your husband comes home, and then you come out and you're in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I don't understand what the problem is.
I don't understand what it is either. But currently, they're trying to figure out why I don't have parents, and whether or not they can possibly give me an under 30 femme presenting person an apartment without any parents involved.
That's so wild.
I've been renting apartments for 10 years in Los Angeles.
That's so wild to me.
And I asked because I was like, hey, I asked the person who is on my application as my landlord, may or may not be my landlord,
Sure.
For legal reasons. I asked, I was like, hey, did they call you? Because like, oh, okay, well, if you're not sure, if you see my thing and you're like, I don't know about her, I let them know that I'm paying almost twice as much for rent right now as I would be at this new place. So I was like, here's my landlord. You can call them and see. She paid more money to them than than you're asking for.
Right.
And so I talked to the person who's on my application. I was like, hey, did they call you? No. They didn't even check if I'm employed or if I have a landlord. They just said, where's your dad?
Do you think it...
And I was like, I don't know. Do you?
Do you think it was because of the eyebrow?
Maybe that
because
was
I
it.
wasn't there to fix your eyebrow and you looked unkempt?
Yeah, maybe it was because I looked unkempt that they won't give me this apartment.
I blame myself.
Yeah, you should.
I do.
I also blame you. So that's where my life is at.
Very cool.
So I'm packing boxes with nowhere to put them. So that's pretty exciting.
That's the coolest feeling.
It's a cool feeling.
The coolest feeling is when you've got 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And you have to pack.
Yeah.
Because you're no longer allowed to stay.
Yeah.
You couldn't be like, I've changed my mind. They're like, no, you haven't.
No.
The papers are done.
Yeah.
It's over. This box is no longer your box. All these smaller boxes are yours.
Yeah. And you can't fit in
those.
any of them.
Yeah, you have to take all those. They have to be full of your things.
Yeah.
It's like, but I have no new box to go to. And they're like, that sucks, dog.
Whoa, man.
Wow.
Sucks to be you.
We've got somebody else coming into this current box and they're paying more than we had you pay.
100%.
So fuck right off.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for empathizing in the chat. And thank you specifically to Sarah for saying women should have studios with an oven to cry over and nothing else until they're married.
That's right. Your life should look like a whimsical lady from a Neil Simon play.
Yeah.
You should have a hot plate.
Yeah.
And a dream. And that dream should involve finding a man who wears a tie.
I'll have you know, I have to have an oven. How will I be prepared for marriage otherwise?
But that's the thing. You're not. How will you find a man?
Gross.
That's at least half of the Neil Simon plays.
Ew. Gross.
One of the great American playwrights.
So, how are you? How are you, Anthony?
I'm so good.
Oh, cool. That's good.
I'm so great. I went to meet up with a friend yesterday. Humble brag.
He's got a friend.
Who's in from out of town. And she's staying in glamorous Hollywood. The greatest, coolest place to go visit. Let me tell you something. If you ever find yourself in Los Angeles, what you want to do is you want to go immediately to Hollywood and Vine.
Nope.
That's where all the coolest stuff happens. If you want to get like a Jamba Juice, but a Jamba Juice in the third act of a David Lynch movie.
If you want
to,
get,
where people are just screaming randomly.
Yeah, if you want to get a need for a tetanus shot.
Yeah.
Get yourself right down to Hollywood and Vine.
That's
you know?
right. And she was like, well, I'm not renting a car, and like we're just meeting like during her lunch break because she's in for a work thing. So I'm like, I will come and I will meet you. And she's like, well, why don't you come to my hotel? We at least won't go out into the neighborhood. We'll like come hang out here. We'll have like, there's like a little cafe at the hotel.
Great.
That's fine. I was like, perfect.
Don't go outside in Hollywood. It's bad there.
Get there.
I'm sorry.
And I swear, me too. And I walk up and I swear it's a vape and blazer convention. Like there's literally a convention going on, but I can't tell what it's for. All I know is they're all standing outside vaping, and it's the people who wear blazers,
it's crypto,
but
then.
not.
Oh, then it's definitely a crypto convention.
That's what I thought.
The center point between blazers and vapes is always crypto.
That's right.
That's the circle that connects them.
The continuum between blazing and blazers.
Yeah.
Right at the center point there.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the signage for this convention. And it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't say what the convention's for.
Hell yeah.
It doesn't describe the convention.
Yeah.
It's just talking, like, I'm even reading some of like the smaller things. It's like, this is the best place. This is the heart of this industry, and you better like believe that this is the place to network and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, I'm thinking the same thing you're thinking. It's gotta be crypto.
Gotta be crypto.
Saige.
What?
Porn. It was a porn convention downtown at one of the boutique hotels that has like fancy typewriters for you when you check in. You know, they want you to rent. They say you can borrow one of our bicycles and bike around the city. It's one of those hotels.
Wow.
Which, by the way, don't ride a bicycle in Hollywood. And
No, don't
do not take the hotel up on that offer. But that's when I noticed in amongst the blazermen were a bunch of like cool looking ladies with the jeans that are ripped all the way down the front. And I was like, porn convention.
Here's the difference though, because this is why I wouldn't recognize it, because it was a straight people porn convention.
That's right.
That's what it is.
That's right.
It's because when you would describe, like if you said porn convention, if you just said those words to me and I was doing like a word association, I would be picturing a much queerer space.
Nobody was dressed well or entertainingly or with any sense of flair or drama whatsoever.
Yeah. So then it was definitely a very heterosexual porn convention.
Yeah, you could tell by the amount of vapes, really.
Yeah. The blazers and vapes was definitely the giveaway.
You could tell by simply the amount of vapes.
Well,
so that was pretty funny.
Was it in the hotel your friend was staying in?
In the boutique hotel.
Oh, great.
And I think the deal with the hotel is they couldn't have anything up that said adult entertainment or anything. They were
that makes sense.
You can't do that at our hotel.
Yeah.
So it was like all of these signs that were like code. Like I was meeting up with a secret government agency or something, or like a front for something.
Yeah.
So
what do you think the networking is like?
Boring.
It's boring?
Well, because I was waiting down in the lobby for my friend.
Yeah.
And I was listening to everybody, and there's nothing more boring than listening to a straight guy trying to get laid, unless it's a straight guy trying to get laid.
Trust me, I agree.
Unless it's a straight guy trying to get laid in a room full of people who do that professionally.
Yeah.
And it just sounds even worse and more, somehow it leans more into the preening about what you do for work.
Yeah.
Than even a normal straight guy hitting on somebody.
Yeah.
It was just very, it felt more transactional, but also the air of disappointment was still there.
Yeah, well, wherever straight men go, an air of disappointment is bound to follow.
So yeah, it was very interesting, and we did not have lunch at that adorable little cafe
at the porn
at the
convention.
hotel.
Yeah,
that
makes sense. I can see why you wouldn't have lunch in the middle of a porn convention.
I don't know. I don't know.
It doesn't seem like the vibe you were looking for.
Maybe it's like Vegas. Where it's like, well, the rest of the hotel doesn't look like you should eat here, but the buffet is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, all of Vegas does look like you're trying to have lunch in the middle of a porn convention. I can't agree with that, and I don't like it.
Maybe porn conventions have endless prime rib.
Well, hey,
and maybe they have endless prime rib. I don't know. Go with me on this.
I got it. Yeah. I'm with it. All right. They did just announce that TwitchCon will not be in Vegas this year. Oh my God, it's this year. It feels like it just happened because it did. So they made the announcements. They're doing for TwitchCon Europe, They're doing the Netherlands.
Yep.
And they're doing San Diego. And they said not just San Diego, but San Diego through 2028. So they're guaranteed to be here for the next 4 years for TwitchCon.
Hey.
I'm so thrilled. Everyone had a bad time in Vegas last year and came back with COVID.
I listen, and I love our fine friends at Twitch.
Sure.
I love our fine friends on the event teams at Twitch.
Yeah.
I don't blame them, but boy, oh boy, are Twitch events always a problem. It doesn't matter where you put them or who's
Here's
there.
what I'll say. They're getting to be less of a problem.
Yeah.
They're not open drinks at the partner party anymore.
Right.
Open cups sitting on a table at the partner party anymore. They've moved on from that, but Vegas was rough. And this year, when we had TwitchCon in Las Vegas, or last year in 2023, it was also a massive rodeo convention and When We Were Young festival.
Hell
And
yeah.
a Formula One racing.
Yeah.
Were all happening on the same weekend in Las Vegas. And for those who have never been to Las Vegas, it's not a large city. Like, it's pretty small, but like Vegas itself, where the events happen. So everything was just fucking crammed into one place. Getting ride shares, which you rely on when you're traveling somewhere, was absolutely awful. It was not only astronomically expensive, but also huge wait times. It was genuinely terrible.
No, my friend always said, you know, they say that Las Vegas is like the adult Disneyland or the Disneyland of sin. And
Disneyland
he's
is
like,
the Disneyland of sin. You're not doing Disneyland right.
and he's like, and I agree with that, but not for the reasons that everybody else agrees with it. He's like, I agree with it because Vegas is the adult Disneyland because of the lines, the expense, the heat, the boredom, the frustration, the loudness. No, I mean, listen, I've never been to a Twitch party where a fight hasn't broken out, so I don't know, either in the venue or right outside.
I don't think there's been a fight these last couple.
Hey, Mazel Tov, Twitch.
So moving on up in the world. Alex asked us in the chat, did you guys see that Disney swinger website? Now, I did see that there was a Disney adult dating website. Is it swinger specific?
I thought that was a goof.
I saw
thought that
it
was
on Twitter.
No, there was a TikTok that was going around.
Yeah? Okay, it might have been a goof.
It was parody.
I don't know. I'm checking.
No, I know. I checked.
Mousemingle.com.
No, at least no.
Mouse Mingle is the place for people to connect who love Disney, Star Wars, Pixar, Marvel, and all things Disney, who want that same magic in their relationships.
No.
It's a real website.
The TikTok was a parody.
Okay, well, the website is real. That's mousemingle.com, babies. This episode of It's Surely brought to you by mousemingle.com.
No, I have nothing to say. I have nothing to say due to the fact that I like working. Somebody said that we don't have San Diego in COVID. Just wait till you have a TwitchCon there.
Yeah.
Anyway.
People asked, are you going to go to TwitchCon Europe? I'd love to go to TwitchCon Europe. Someone send me to TwitchCon Europe.
Yeah. We'll go anywhere that somebody sends us.
I have a tweet typed in my drafts that says I want to go to the Netherlands for TwitchCon Europe because I would love to go to the fucking Netherlands. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it on Twitter and see if anybody takes me to TwitchCon Netherlands.
I believe in you.
Yeah.
I want you to know that.
I believe in the power of simply telling people I want to go and seeing what happens and doing nothing about it.
That's right. That's called living the secret.
Tweeted, done. Posted. It was sitting in my drafts. Let's go.
That's all it takes.
That's all it takes.
That's all it takes. Hey,
there you go.
Listen, and Alex, you can back this up because you know all about the Sigma grind set.
Yeah, of course.
But what it is all you have to do for abundance is just tweet. Mm-hmm. Isn't that right? But you got to tweet all the time.
Yeah.
I actually have a tweet scheduled to go out at the top of every hour on the hour.
Yeah.
And it just says Sigma.
Yeah.
And then the next one's grind set, and then
Nice.
Sigma again.
And then every once in a while, instead of grind set, it says balls.
Yep, Sigma balls.
Hustle and grind, everybody. Good morning.
Is there news? Sure.
There is news. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about when you can find out all of the things that Xbox now owns. That is going to be tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
So, that is going to be tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. If you want to check that out, we will be covering and recapping on Friday, so you never have to consume something yourself. You can just wait, and we'll tell you about it instead.
Yeah, here's the thing. You should never, ever read a primary source or look to somebody for an official statement.
Yeah.
Or even like, come on, because sometimes those can be upwards of like 2-3 minutes long.
Oh, God.
You know?
So instead, watch 90 minutes of our subjective opinions on it.
That's right. That's the best way to find out what's happening in the world. And I recommend that you don't watch this Xbox Bethesda thing because it will be like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And who has that time?
who
Instead,
could ever have that
half
time?
watch us for 90 minutes while you're scrolling some sort of social media.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea.
Because that way you get like 3 times the information in 2.5 times the time.
So this is the Developer Direct, and this is going to be bringing you some of the big Bethesda things that we're waiting on, like the Indiana Jones game.
That's right.
In theory, hopefully.
But also we're going to see things like Ninja Theory's Suina Saga Hellblade 2. I don't know if you played that first Hellblade, but it was very
did not.
good. It was very good. And you know, any other big Bethesda things, I would expect them to try to talk up Starfield a little bit. And what's coming to Starfield, and why you shouldn't be done with
There's been
Starfield
some
yet.
big updates coming to Starfield, so it makes sense they'll probably touch on Starfield a little bit. They say that 4 games are expected to headline the stream: Obsidian Entertainment's fantasy game Avowed, Aura, History Untold from Oxide Games, and Ninja Theory's Senua Saga Hellblade 2, and then, of course, the Indiana Jones game. So we don't know what else will be in there, but those are expected to be the headline games for it. Of those, honestly, for me, it's Indiana Jones, obviously.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that. I can't wait for Starfield in a minecart.
Yeah. In. Hey. In. I don't give a shit. And then after that, we've got a Diablo and Elder Scrolls Online stream. So that'll also be tomorrow. Now, this says the same time on here, which I don't think is correct. So I guess it's just all connected to it. It's going to be on Twitch and YouTube. And they're just going to tell you mostly what's to come for ESO. If you're ESOing.
Well, remember those are going to be 2 different streams, and I can't believe that they scheduled them at the same time. Blizzard and Bethesda scheduled their streams at the same time, which feels weird, and that's also why you should just watch our recap of it. Because you can't.
They're also that one's 12 p.m. Eastern, so that one's actually earlier.
Okay, but
because the other one's 12 p.m. Pacific, and everybody's also for some reason all over this article using different time zones. Hey, pick one time zone.
Yeah,
it's okay. Pick one time zone. Everyone else can figure it out from there.
Okay.
I do also want to tell you, there was a delay announced on Starfield like yesterday. They were supposed to have a big update, and they announced a delay.
Yeah, they announced they were gonna put the fun into the game.
Yeah,
and
that's delayed. The fun is delayed.
Yeah, they were like, we swear we ordered the fun.
Yeah.
And
it was supposed to be over 100 tweaks.
We ordered it same day.
Yeah, but
the fun was supposed to show up same day, and then like 8 p.m. we're still waiting around for the fun, and our phone goes off. Todd Howard's phone goes off, and it says, "We're so sorry, we had to delay your fun until tomorrow.
Yeah.
There's no need to contact us. Your fun is still on the way."
Yeah, sorry, the fun is running late.
And then Todd Howard was like, "But
it said by 10 p.m.
I needed it for tomorrow. I wouldn't have ordered the fun from you.
Yeah,
if it wasn't same day. Sorry, Todd."
That's the world we live in.
He gets all his jackets same day.
Yeah.
That's why they're always so shiny and squeaky.
Sometimes the fun is late. People asked, are there any drops with your recap? Nope. Just opinions. Sometimes
we're going to drop knowledge.
Sometimes dropping a little knowledge. That's where I was going.
We're going to drop knowledge on you about how to be part of that hustle culture.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're all about.
So, you know. All right. I want to talk about... No, let's get some other stuff out of the way, actually. God, what even? Let's talk about a little more gaming news.
Okay.
This was in our little stories, but it's not true that it's a little story. It's actually a pretty big deal.
Oh, okay.
It's the goth pack for The Sims, baby.
Oh, yeah.
It's the goth pack for The Sims. No, we knew that this was coming.
No, that should have been, I don't know why it wasn't why it wasn't in the big deal stories.
I don't know. Who could say?
I don't know why we didn't bring it up first.
You're right. We should have brought it up first. It was bigger news. So there are 2 new DLC packs coming for The Sims 4 because The Sims 4 is absolutely determined to get you to spend every dollar you possibly can before they release another game. And so with that, we're getting 2 of them. You are getting the Castle Estate Kit and the Goth Galore Kit. Now, these were both voted on by players last summer. So we did talk about them when they were up for vote. And I was like, you get in there and you get me this goth pack.
I remember us bringing it up. Yeah. Because one of them, it had like it had a Dracula castle.
Yeah. So both are sick as fuck.
Yeah.
Both are wins for the goth community, in my humble opinion. And they will be coming this week. So they're launching tomorrow on Thursday. And you chose this, and now you have to give EA money for them.
They're launching tomorrow, on Thursday, and also on the 18th.
That is the same.
Is it?
Yeah, tomorrow's the 18th.
No.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is Thursday and
Yeah.
also the 18th?
Yeah.
Wild.
Wild.
What a coincidence.
Unbelievable.
Very excited for the Goth Pack.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm excited for both. Building a castle sounds fun as
Yeah.
hell. That sounds great. I don't buy a ton of Sims DLC because I am an infrequent Sims player.
Yes.
I am a play hard The Sims for 1 to 2 weeks, put The Sims down for months on end,
Right, because
potentially years.
Because you're on that grind.
I'm busy on that grind.
You're busy on that grind.
And then for 1 week, I'll be busy on my Sims grind. But
Because listen, if you've got the right stoic hustle mindset, you can achieve more in The Sims 4 in a week than most people can in their entire lifetime.
yeah,
So think about that.
I've got the same amount of Sim hours in the day as Simlish Beyonce.
That's right.
So I do look forward to building castles, and I do think that that's great. So here's what I will say. Although you pay for a lot of DLC, they're only $5 each for each of these packs.
Sure.
There's not a ton in them. It's not a game-changing pack, don't get me wrong.
No.
But $5, okay.
But that's been their strat with
Yeah.
this game the entire time is we release a pack and you go, oh, it's not much, but there are 130 packs.
Yeah.
And so when you look back on it, you go, it's like how when you go shopping and you won't buy one big nice thing.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, I can't afford that big
I
nice
can't
thing.
spend $200 on one thing. I'll
I
spend
don't-
$200 on a bunch of
I don't
small
deserve
things.
that.
Yeah.
I don't have the money for that. And then 45 minutes later, you're like, oh, look at this armful of tiny crap garbage that I
Yeah.
bought that I
That'll bring me
barely
less
like.
joy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That adds up to the same amount of money.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
not the same amount of joy.
Correct. So that's kind of the math of it. They do talk about in here in this article from PC Gamer how the stuff packs have become like way more valuable, and the stuff packs are $10. This is not a stuff pack. This is just a little DLC. So usually you don't get a ton in these, which it is nickel and diming you a little bit because they're just giving you a couple of items at a time. Whereas the stuff packs usually come with build items, create a sim items. Those usually give you a little bit more for your money.
Yeah.
But you know, they did say that there is in the roadmap a 2024 stuff pack coming soon. So don't worry. They'll take more of your money very soon.
Yeah, don't worry. The Sims 4 is going to constantly be printing money.
Yeah. Which The Sims 5 is in development,
That's true.
but a
But-
ways out.
Yeah, we're not going to see that for a while. Hey, here's something that was also nickel and diming people that's gone now.
All right.
This is your last chance. Genuinely, this is your last chance to run to GameStop and get your GameStop NFTs.
Wait, this is our
They're-
last chance?
Listen, they're going
Anthony,
away.
why are we doing a show right now? We're going to miss it.
I know. I'm sure that there's a huge rush right now at our local GameStop on Funkos. But also,
Yeah.
these NFTs, you only have until February 2nd, just a couple more weeks to grab all of these valuable digital artifacts, these one-of-a-kind JPEGs,
Yeah.
before they go away forever. Now, you might remember that the GameStop NFT marketplace started, about exactly 1 year from the date that they're shutting down.
Yeah.
This massive undertaking by GameStop started on February 3rd, and it's now shutting down. It's very, very cool because what I think is it's just going to make them all more valuable. You know what I mean? Like, here's what it's gonna like. It's like when they stop making famous toys.
Yeah, it's like how my mom held on to all of those McDonald's toys in the 90s, and now she's a millionaire.
That's right. Or the Beanie Babies.
Yeah, and now she's a millionaire.
That's right. Everybody held on to all the crap forever, and
Yeah.
now there are no problems with the economy.
Yeah.
This is why you got to get in on these NFTs. What do they look like? What do they cost? I don't know, but they're important because this is the future. I hope some of them have AI.
Yeah. I hope that some of the NFTs have AI.
Oh, that would be amazing.
I hope we could get every acronym in there.
Ooh, if we could get a little artificial intelligence in our crypto.
Hit me with the NFT with the AI. Give me that RESPECT. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Give me some more letters in there.
So this you might remember was something that was spearheaded by GameStop's previous CFO, Diana Saige, who called herself a decision maker for key business strategies, including NFT, digital wallet, and crypto initiatives at GameStop. Now, you might remember GameStop also had a crypto wallet. You could put
I do.
You could put your fake money into the fake GameStop wallet instead of anywhere else.
Yeah. Well, you know what it's
like the first bank of GameStop.
Well, you know how there's like an old superstition that you can't give someone a wallet that doesn't have money in it or they'll be broke forever?
Is that what happened to me?
Yeah. So if you get a wallet as a gift or you give a wallet as a gift, you're supposed to put at least $5 in it or something to give it to somebody.
Hey, screw you, Grandma. You fucked me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all your grandma's fault.
When I was a little guy and I wanted a briefcase and a wallet like a grown-up. Both empty. No job, no money.
Here's what I will say, Anthony. You want to know what?
What?
It is mostly our grandparents' fault that we are all broke. That is true.
Because of the curse.
Because of the curse by giving us wallets as gifts with
That's
no money
right.
in them. And because they ruin the economy and the Reaganomics.
I don't want to hear numbers from you. I heard about a curse.
I think it's very funny that they're closing down on February 2nd because if they had gone one more day, they would have made it a year. They opened on February 3rd, 2022. Actually, 2 years.
Oh, that's 2 years, yeah.
2 years. I know what year it is. So they're shutting down 1 day shy of 2 years.
They should have done it. They should have gone 2 years.
They should have made it to 2 years. Why wouldn't you close 1 day later?
Maybe it's like when you know a relationship is falling apart and you know the anniversary is going to be expensive.
And you got to break up before the anniversary.
Because if you don't break up before the anniversary, it's like, now we got to go on a trip or we got to go to dinner and this is just going to be
weird.
Yeah, GameStop's going to have to kiss the NFTs and it doesn't. It feels weird to kiss the NFTs now.
It
feels like kissing a friend or a roommate.
Yeah, they don't want to celebrate a second anniversary.
That's right.
That makes sense. Well, hey, GameStop has made nothing but smart business decisions so far.
Yeah.
For their time in the business. So I look forward to seeing what they do next.
GameStop was like, physical video games are going out the window. We got to diversify. Quick, put all our money into Funko Pops.
Yeah. And then they were like, okay, hey guys, Funko Pops go into the landfills. Quick, put all our money in images. In pictures.
Put all our money into dreams and feelings.
Yeah. That's where all my money went.
I never had any because of my fucking grandma.
Yeah. And
anyway,
Ronald Reagan.
Get all your NFTs. Is Ronald Reagan my grandpa?
Do you not know your grandpa? Then maybe.
It's all starting to make sense.
Yeah. Here's what I will say. I talk about my favorite podcast all the time. Pick Me Up, I'm Scared. Just did an excellent episode on Ronald Reagan and a bunch of bonus content on Nancy Reagan. I didn't know all that about Nancy Reagan.
Oh.
I knew some.
Yeah, we knew some. We knew some things about Nancy Reagan.
Don't get me wrong. But I know a lot more about Nancy Reagan now.
No,
and the Reagan family, or like her family.
Yeah.
Not the Reagan family, I suppose. It's her family.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense if my grandfather was Ronald Reagan.
Yeah.
Because he was never around, and all I inherited from him was Alzheimer's and spurs.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Probably.
What was I talking about?
I think we were talking about The Sims. Last I heard.
Oh, okay. Katy Perry did a song in Simlish once.
She did. So did Paramore. No, what we were actually talking about was NFTs. That's it. So GameStop, little guy coming up in the world, really making their mark, I think, you know?
They're on the hustle grind set, and we got to respect them.
They are on the hustle grind set. Let's get some more gaming and some more movie and stuff news, and then I want to talk about some tech.
Sure. Well, let's talk about some movies.
All right.
Because here's some big stuff that's going. Movies and TV.
And TV.
First of all, let's talk about She-Hulk.
She-Hulk, a wonderful, fantastic series.
One of my favorite Marvel shows.
Yeah.
It took But we've talked about this before. One of the problems I think with a lot of the Disney Plus stuff is they really find their way about 3 episodes in, which is when most TV shows find their way. But they only have 6-episode seasons.
Yep.
So by the time the show figures out what it is and really nails its vibe and its whole thing, well, you're halfway done. And I think by the time She-Hulk got midway into the first season, it was everything I ever could have wanted from a She-Hulk show.
Yeah.
Really felt like the old Dan Slott, John Byrne, Peter David She-Hulk.
And She-Hulk was pretty universally loved by anyone who didn't hate it because it was led by a woman of color.
Yeah. I will say this, there was a contingent that was not ready for Marvel to be that straight on broadly comedic, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the most part, if people had a problem with the show, it was just because they didn't want to watch the show.
That's it. Here's the thing. It's not that they weren't ready for Marvel to be funny, okay? These are the same people that love Deadpool, and you know it.
Yeah.
You know that they were ready for Marvel to be funny. They weren't ready for it to be funny and led by a woman. At the end of the day, that's not true because they love funny Marvel. They're fine when Thor does it. The same
fair.
people are always fine when it's Thor and Taika Waititi. They're fine when it's anything of the sort except for a woman. And then all of a sudden they're like,
Sure.
not in my superhero media.
Well,
This is, you're making a joke of it.
Well, I think there's a difference between Ragnarok and Love and Thunder for sure in terms of tone.
Yeah.
I think Love and Thunder was much closer to comedy, like straight comedy, than Ragnarok was.
Ragnarok is a straight up comedy.
Ragnarok is a comedy.
Straight up comedy.
And it's my favorite Thor movie. But
It's fantastic.
But Love and Thunder was straight up silly. And I think, and a lot of people had problems with how silly it was.
Yeah.
Like Love and Thunder just genuinely did not do as well.
I had a lot of problems with Love and Thunder, but it wasn't, it's too funny.
Yeah. No, I didn't say
you said
funny.
silly.
I said silly.
Those were not really my problems with it, but at the end of the day, I do think that lots of people are fine with Marvel being funny until it was Tatiana Maslany.
That's fair. I do think a lot of people just had problems with She-Hulk because it was She-Hulk. I do think, especially in the first few episodes, there were some critical takes on it that I think were valid. Because like I said, it took a while to find its way. But it did find its way, and it became one of my absolute favorite Marvel things.
Null denominator in the live studio audience said, what does She-Hulk need with a 2-bedroom apartment?
She has to have one place for Matt Murdock to sleep.
Yeah.
After they bone down, because she's like, no, Murdoch, you snore.
Yeah.
And this is my apartment.
You leave in the morning before I go to work.
That's right, Murdoch. So anyway, I think it hit. It was very perfect. By the time it hit the end, it had its tone absolutely 100%. And I was like, now that they know what this is, I am so excited to see if we get more.
Yeah.
Tatiana Maslany says, yeah, I don't think that's happening.
Yeah. So, and when asked in an interview if she thought that there would be a second season of She-Hulk, she said that it was unlikely. She felt like they had just kind of spent their budget.
Yeah, she said exactly, I don't think so. I think we blew our budget, and Disney was like, no thanks.
Yeah.
But here's the issue with that I have. Disney and a lot of these streaming services, not just Disney, are setting this precedent of, in order to get people to watch our streaming service, every show we make has to be the most expensive show that's ever happened. She-Hulk was like $25 million an episode estimated. The finale of Game of Thrones was $15 million.
Yeah.
And at the time, that was the most expensive television episode ever made.
Yeah.
You cannot argue that She-Hulk had anywhere near the impact on pop culture of a Game of Thrones.
No.
And you cannot argue that She-Hulk looked materially better visually than Game of Thrones.
No, and it's very strange. And obviously having like your lead character need to have that much CGI is going to make that an expensive show. But it does feel like we're getting to a place where I'm like, where is the money going?
I think one of the biggest issues with the Marvel stuff is they brought in all of the movie folks that are making Marvel movie money and have been for the last decade.
Yeah.
And so it's something where it's like, listen, Mark Ruffalo loves being the Hulk, but Mark Ruffalo probably, part of the thing that Mark Ruffalo loves about being the Hulk, it may not be his favorite thing, but he loves that he gets $10 million to play the Hulk.
Right.
So you can't have You can't have him come in. You can't have Jeremy Renner come into the Hawkeye series. You can't have all these big actors come in that make the movie money without paying them the movie money.
Yeah.
And especially since streaming shows don't have residuals like movies,
Yep.
these actors are going to be asking for more up front.
Yeah.
So are the directors, so are the writers if they can. A lot of the Marvel writers can't, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I think that's the thing, is there was this rush to see who can get the most eyeballs by making the most lavish shows. And the answer was no one. The answer was no one. Everybody was watching Love is Blind, which cost $15 to make on Netflix.
Yeah.
Like, in all honesty.
Yeah. I mean, every time that we talk about kind of where Marvel is at, where all of it is at, we both are of the opinion of like, spend less money.
Yeah.
Spend less money.
One of the things that was so brilliant about
And set lower expectations.
Yeah, one of the things that was so brilliant about the Netflix stuff is they really embraced the idea of the street level thing.
Yeah.
Like, they were like, oh, in Marvel, you have street level heroes, global level heroes, cosmic level heroes. And they were like, if Daredevil is a street level hero, there is no reason why we need to spend $100 million on special effects.
And at no point during Daredevil or Jessica Jones did I ever feel like, damn, they're really not putting enough money into this show. Bigger budgets would make this show better.
And I think it's exactly those constraints that focused the Netflix series on being more character focused, more plot focused, more tension focused, because there wasn't a lot of like, and then the big space alligator comes and ruins the timeline, and the timeline explodes into 100 million bits of glitter. Yeah. And it's like, okay.
Oh, okay.
No, Daredevil punched a guy in a mask, and the guy in the mask punched him back, and he got a nosebleed.
Right.
That's Daredevil.
Like and not making giant CGI villains.
Yeah.
You know who the villain is in Jessica Jones? David Tennant.
Who's the
Just
villain?
David Tennant in a suit.
Entitlement.
Yeah. David Tennant in a suit.
Yeah.
That's it. They're like, we're not even painting him purple.
No.
Don't worry about it.
Because that would be silly.
It would be silly.
It was, and I think that's something that I'm hoping to see with Born Again.
Yeah.
Now that Echo has come and we've gotten the setup for the new Daredevil series.
Have you watched Echo yet?
I have not yet watched Echo.
It's a good watch.
I've heard.
It's good, yeah. I'm not totally caught up on it, but I watched the first episode and it's really cool.
It did incredibly well for Hulu.
Yeah.
And on Disney Plus. So
I didn't realize it was on Hulu. Are all of them on Hulu, or is it
no,
just some?
they just
because they're
so
doing
with
Marvel
Echo,
stories or something.
Right. So Echo is the first one that they've done a simultaneous release.
Yeah.
As sort of like a, hey, come look at what's going on Disney Plus. But also, the reason they dropped all the episodes of Echo at once is it was the first original character created for the MCU. Like, Echo doesn't exist in comics. So they were like, we know you don't know who Echo is, so we're going to show as many of you as possible Echo.
Yeah.
Because we want you to fall in love with this character.
Now, I will say there were people talking in the chat that there hasn't been a ton of promo for it, and there hasn't been. And this is in their what they're considering their like smaller stories line of it, which is that like a Marvel Stories or something like that. There's like a different logo showcase that plays before the show that I was like, oh, what is this?
Yeah, it's based on the old comics label, which was like how they would introduce new characters, do team ups.
I didn't realize there were no Echo comics. That's so interesting.
She was created specifically for the Hawkeye series.
Okay.
And then they were decided, they linked her in with Kingpin.
Yeah.
And were like, now she is going to be part of this new street level, which according to Brad Winterbaum, probably will contain all the Netflix characters.
Interesting. I want Jessica Jones back so
want
badly.
Jessica
I'll give
Jones
anything.
back.
I'll give anything. We know we've got Daredevil. Please, 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 please. It would be so fucked up if you give us Daredevil and not Jessica Jones. I'll take Luke Cage too.
No, I would love to have Luke Cage back. Listen.
I liked Luke Cage in Jessica Jones more than I liked the Luke Cage show, but I still enjoyed the first season of Luke Cage a lot.
The first season of Luke Cage, I think, was perfect. The second season kind of lost the tone a little bit. Listen, do I want the Immortal Iron Fist? I do. I don't need the Netflix Immortal Iron Fist in any way.
I don't think that they'll do that.
No, they won't.
I really don't. And the actor has spoken since and been like, yeah, that was a bad move. So I don't think he would even come back.
No.
I don't know the guy's name.
Flynn Jones.
But what I will say,
The Night of Flowers.
I was watching Echo and I was like, oh, I'm a person who sits on IMDb while I watch things on my phone. I like to know things about people. And I looked at this actor. she had never done anything before Echo. So Miss Marvel style, they were like, you are the character and you are perfect for this character.
They put up a clip of her being told over Zoom.
Yeah.
And
This
it was amazing.
Her first ever acting role was on Hawkeye when they introduced Echo. And all of her social media like doesn't even mention the show coming out. She's not made a single post on her Instagram about Echo.
Has she made posts recently? Or is she the sort of person that has socials and doesn't post?
I mean, it's not been that long since she posted. She posted some stuff when Hawkeye happened. And she had a baby somewhat recently. So I think she's just off being a parent. And that totally makes sense. But I was just like, oh, this is not her life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
like,
also,
it's interesting.
Here's what I'm going to say. Somebody who posted about Hawkeye and then doesn't post about Echo, like, hey, Daisy Ridley and Kelly Marie Tran posted about the beginning of Star Wars, and then they ejector seated off of social media. And I'd like to think that's not what happened to this actor, but I don't
know of that happening. It's possible. But it also seems like this is just like not really her life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like not an actor by trade, got a wonderful opportunity and did a great job with it, and like got the opportunity to represent the communities that she's a part of, as a person who actually does have, and that was one of the things too, she actually does have a prosthetic leg and is deaf, and those
she's
are
deaf.
key parts of Echo.
They were looking for a deaf Indigenous person.
Yeah.
And
she got to represent all of the communities that she's a part of wonderfully,
Yeah.
and be like, but also like, I'm gonna go take care of my baby and have a life.
Bye.
And I thought that was neat. I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, oh, I've never seen this person. What's her deal? So yeah, congrats on getting to have maybe a normal life. I hope that is the case for you.
And we hope that we get to see much more of her in Born Again. I know that they were reshooting a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
The showrunners, of course, left Born Again. But they're reworking that, and I'm hoping to see a lot more. I'm hoping to see a lot more Marvel stuff that sort of digs into character like that, and I'm hoping that Echo and Daredevil will sort of bring that into the television thing, because that's something that the TV shows are missing, I think.
I agree with that.
In other big movie news,
Okay.
the John Wick universe, the guy who makes John Wick is now in charge of the John Wick universe,
Okay.
which I guess he was
wasn't?
not before, but Chad Stahelski, who has directed all of the John Wick movies and is, of course, a stunt performer himself, is now in charge of overseeing the John Wick universe for Lionsgate. Sure.
And Highlander?
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
That's not the important thing, though.
Okay.
Snuck like 3 paragraphs down into this, you're taking over the Highlander. That's the one article that I put in. Every article was like, John Wick guy is in charge of John Wick.
Okay.
And I was like, okay. And then you go 3 paragraphs down and it goes, also Highlander. And I go, hey, I know that Highlander is not a very relevant cultural franchise right now, but it is the next thing that Henry Cavill's doing. So when you say the John Wick guy is teaming up with Henry Cavill to make the good sword fighting movie, my ears do perk up. It feels like that's something that should get a little more notice.
I saw this and I was like, okay.
Oh, I love
saw
Highlander.
both of these and I was like, oh, cool.
I freaking love Highlander, man.
I didn't even know Henry Cavill was doing Highlander.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have any personal attachment to Highlander or to John Wick. Look, I know everyone loves John Wick. I'm just going to come out and say, I don't give a shit about John Wick. I'm so sorry.
That's totally fair.
I don't care. I tried. I hadn't watched them for a long time. I finally saw them a few years ago. Sat down, did the watched them all caught up, saw the last one in theaters. I don't enjoy John Wick.
I enjoy how utterly bonkers bananas they are. They make the lore of John Wick and all the strange, like, by the time you get to John Wick 4, you kind of think to yourself, is anyone on Earth not a secret assassin? How are we all living in this world of, like, it's almost like a world of vampires, right? Where it's like the assassins walk among us, except literally everyone's an assassin.
Yeah.
Every time John Wick is in a public place,
There's an
everyone,
assassin, yeah.
everyone turns around and they've got Tommy guns.
Yeah.
It's fucking wild.
It's just, to me, it's the same thing as the Fast and the Furious, where you're like, oh, everyone's a fucking superhero.
Yeah.
Okay. And we've gotten to a point. So I also understand that there's a big overlap between like the kinds of people that really enjoy the Fast and the Furious and the people that enjoy John Wick. And that makes sense to me. And neither is for me.
Yeah. That's fine.
The like ridiculous action movie is just not my genre.
But you know what is for you?
What?
Henry Cavill and swords.
Sure.
You like Henry Cavill and swords.
But I don't like Henry Cavill so much that I'm like, ooh, now I'm excited for Highlander. I'm like, oh.
The reason this makes me excited is it makes me think that they're genuinely putting some effort into this, as opposed to like a as opposed to like a reboot or one of those like side boots.
Sure.
Where it's just kind of like, we have the name, we own the rights, let's put $30 million into a nothing movie.
Yeah, they're doing something that is clearly like full effort in reviving the name, and that's cool.
Yeah.
That's fine. But like, I love Henry Cavill in The Witcher.
Sure. This is very Witcher adjacent.
But it's because also I loved The Witcher before the Witcher series.
Right.
You know, I loved the games. So Henry Cavill isn't enough to make me like, fuck yeah, about a franchise. It's enough to make me go, oh, nice.
Well,
you know?
and you're not the only person who thinks that. DC also thought that.
Henry
Henry Cavill, the most wasted Superman we've ever had.
And that's saying something.
Probably the most perfect Superman we've ever had, tossed out like so much trash to just get another Henry Cavill. David Cornsweet just looks like Henry Cavill.
Yep. New Henry Cavill just dropped.
New Henry Cavill just dropped.
No shade to David Cornsweet.
No, and I'm sure David Cornsweet is a great actor.
Yeah.
But we had Henry Cavill and we fumbled. We fumbled a bad bitch, Saige.
Yeah, we did fumble a baddie.
We fumbled it.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to say DC fumbled a baddie. We had nothing to do with
That's
that.
true.
We showed up and watched the movies anyways, and we're all disappointed.
Yeah, we stood on the sidelines going, DC, as the good friend, we were like, DC, you're messing this up.
You've got a good thing. Don't mess it up.
You have no idea how good they are. You have no idea.
Hey, James Gunn, come on. You've got something good going here. Don't be a piece of shit.
Yeah. I think with James Gunn, I think it's more along the lines of with anything that's going on with DC now with James Gunn. I think it's more along the lines of like, this had so much bad press and bad blood. We just got to cut it and not be associated with it.
I just think James Gunn has bad opinions.
Well, that's fair.
Like, I don't.
I know you do.
And it's not like on even like a personal moral level.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't agree with most of his choices.
Sure.
As a creative, you know?
Yeah. I saw him in the grocery store once, and he got a hard cheese when it should have been a soft cheese for the type of crackers he was getting.
Clearly.
And I was like, James Gunn, your fucking choices, my guy.
I just don't trust your judgment.
However, Superman Legacy, so far, sounding like decent choices.
Yeah. I mean, we love Rachel Brosnahan in this house. We love her very much. We're excited to see new Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
We've seen great casting so far. We've got our Lex Luthor. And this was just a silly little thing, but in an interview with Rachel Brosnahan, this was with Entertainment Tonight. She's playing Lois Lane, of course. People were asking, what it's been like working with James Gunn. And she said, I've really enjoyed the collaboration with James Gunn so far. Every single person involved in this production is such a perfect nerd for Superman. We all grew up watching the movies. Some of us were reading the comics. So I feel like it's being made with so much love. And I think this Superman will have a sense of humor.
Now, she was responding to questions about the tone of the previous Superman movies, particularly the Zack Snyder films, in which Superman literally was reading Nietzsche and Ayn Rand and crying.
Yeah.
And then he killed a guy.
Yeah.
So,
and then he fucking died.
And then he died, and then he came back and he was mad about it. So I think she was responding more to that, but I also think it's just funny to hear Rachel Brosnahan say, this Superman's not like other Supermen.
Yeah. This Superman's not like other Supermans. He doesn't take himself too seriously. You know what I mean?
This Superman's not like other Supermans. He's not played by Shaquille O'Neal.
Right. But does that make you worry a little bit for the James Gunn humor of it all?
No. Yes. Here's the thing.
Because it does make me.
That quote isn't what does it.
Okay.
James Gunn, obviously, and the types of movies James Gunn has made is what does it.
Yeah.
Rachel Brosnahan saying that Superman has a little bit of a sense of humor is fine to me because Superman does have a little bit of a sense of humor.
I'm cool with Superman having a sense of humor. I don't want emo Superman.
No.
I'm happy to have a little pep in the step of the Superman.
James Gunn has said this is not going to have the tone of like a Guardians or a Suicide Squad because it's not that kind of movie. Superman's a story about hope and goodness. So it's not going to be like that. Now, here's where I kind of look at that and go, what this movie is overstuffed in terms of characters. And I believe those characters will probably have a very James Gunn sense of humor to them.
Yeah.
We know that we are getting
Oh my God, there's so
Nathan
much.
Fillion is Green Lantern.
Yeah.
So he's probably going to be Hal Jordan.
Yeah.
Nathan Fillion has, of course, played Hal Jordan before in a DC animated movie.
Yeah.
But we know how Nathan Fillion plays a character. We've got Eddie Gathegi, who is going to be playing Mr. Terrific, who's one of my favorite characters. Should have been played by Ahmed Best. No shade to Edie, but my boy Ahmed Best really wanted that.
All right.
And Anthony Kerrigan is playing Metamorpho, and Isabella Merced is playing Hawkgirl. There's a lot of
There's
DC.
a lot of characters in here. There's a lot of characters in here.
And considering one of everybody's least favorite things about the current DCEU is that they tried to Marvel it too quickly. And that's what we see with a lot of these things that are trying to do shared universes.
Yeah.
They want to go from 0 to 1,000 characters.
Yeah.
That they can all have movies and TV shows and everything. And it's like, dude, just tell one good story, please.
Yeah, maybe get us started on this new phase of the DC EU with like, you know, a good Superman story, a good clean Superman story.
Yeah.
Give us Superman, give us Lex Luthor, you know what I mean?
A good clean Superman story, no cusses.
Yeah.
No cusses.
No cusses. So I think that's going to be a lot. I do worry because I think that James Gunn has a very cynical humor, and I don't think that is the Superman that any of us are looking for.
Yeah,
there are probably people out there who love that shit. All of our Snyder boys.
Yeah, that's fair. And
we're not Snyder boys in this house.
I think that's something that he knows about himself and his image and his career, and I think he wants to do something different.
Yeah.
We just have to see if he's got it in him.
Yeah, I don't believe in men being self-aware. So that does shake my faith a little bit.
What about Metallo? He's part robot. Is he self-aware?
Probably. Yeah, I think that might be an important modifier, but it depends.
Cyborg?
In some iterations.
Robot Man, as played by Brendan Fraser in Doom Patrol. Oh, you're going to love Doom Patrol.
So unfortunately, I got nothing for you on that. But Brendan Fraser is.
Yeah. So there you go. That's what's going on with superheroes and by extension, all of film.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. All right. I got a couple of tech things that I want to get to. So CES, we were talking about earlier in the week, but CES was long. So not everything from CES had come out yet, okay? And I was waiting for some of the good weird shit from CES.
Yeah, where's that good weird shit?
I love the good weird shit. There's good shit, but then there's good weird shit from CES. And I wanted some of this good weird shit. And this one just made me giggle a little bit. So this is the Copilot for parents. This is the Gluckskind baby stroller. It's a Roomba as a baby stroller.
So every year at CES, we see those videos like Piaggio has the smart robot that follows you around.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's if you go to like West Hollywood, they have like those robots that deliver food for Grubhub.
Yeah, absolutely. You'll see one and you're like, pardon me.
Pardon me, sir. They're so little.
Good day on your journey.
Here's what's up. I have never seen one of those robots.
Yeah.
From one of the delivery robots right down to the fucking Roomba in my own home.
Yeah.
That shit cannot move without hitting a wall.
No.
Without getting stuck on something.
Yeah.
I don't want to when I see the Piaggio one, I don't even want to put a sandwich in there. I'm going to put my living child with a soft skull in that.
You ever get the TikToks of the Roombas that escape?
Yeah.
Just out free on the streets?
Just a Roomba living
finding
its life.
someone's Roomba because they left their door open. So actually, Alex, would you specifically show my screen really quick? Because I want to show this little like looping video that they show on the front page of the Glückskind website. Because I think it's very funny for two reasons. One, they're showing it with no baby in it. For some reason, she's still holding her baby.
Yeah.
I guess it's like, it's hard to hold your baby and push a stroller. So if you wanted to take your baby out,
and
having it self-drive.
And then you could put your Pomeranian in the stroller.
Yeah. Having it self-drive might be important. Is
Yeah.
it functional? Is it showing? Oh, that's weird. Okay, well, you can just go to the website and show it on there if you want.
This whole thing that's on this site.
But also, she's not holding a real baby.
No.
It's very funny because it's just also very obvious it's not a real baby.
Well, Saige, the woman isn't real either. That's
But,
an
like,
AI.
that's-
That's an AI woman carrying a Glückskind AI baby in an AI stroller, and that entire neighborhood was done in Unreal 5.
They've just got like a blanket wrapped in a onesie.
This is just a green screen,
And you
and
can see
then
it.
a green screen suit, but not even over a person, just
Yeah.
over a mannequin, and then
Yeah.
they do it all afterwards with computers.
Like you can see when she walks past that the baby has no face, that there is just like a towel stuffed in there.
She's doing the puppet thing where she's gonna be like,
He's okay. It's all right.
"You good back there?"
Yeah, I'm good.
And she's doing her best here. But I did think that was interesting because I do picture it working exactly like a Roomba and people putting little googly eyes on it like a Roomba.
Do you know what that video reminds me of the most?
What?
The Nathan For You episode where he fakes the viral video of the pig saving the kitten.
Oh, yeah.
And he builds railings underwater to make it look like the pig is swimming where that I don't believe in that woman and that baby.
No, that's fair. No, that's so fair. I can see how this could be I have no criticism for the tech, but I do get to make up a headcanon about it because I haven't actually used it or really seen it in real use with a human baby. So instead, I picture it doing the thing where it like catches on the carpet and is like,
Oh yeah.
and you get that alert on your phone that's like, Mom, help.
Yeah.
Like Roombas do. They send you a text that's like, help. I have been bested by the fabric floor.
It's being mean to me.
Help me. I've eaten something I was not supposed to.
Mom, I'm gonna throw up. Okay, so in a way, this makes a lot more sense than like the Piaggio helper robot.
Yeah.
Because those helper robots are only like this big and they're like, now you don't need to carry things with you. I'm like, motherfucker, that's half the size of my backpack.
Yeah.
And it costs $3,500.
Yeah.
And it can't go upstairs.
Nope.
You want me to carry around a useless baby Dalek with me to carry around a paperback book and my keys. This is at least, hey, we know it doesn't carry much, but at least what it's carrying is something that's like kind of important.
Kind
and
of precious
need to,
cargo,
like,
you know what I mean? Quasi in the live studio audience said, help, my Roomba has kidnapped my baby. I just picture somebody running after their stroller.
One of those old Lifetime movies, or something on like the true crime shows, where the babysitter or the nanny just bonds too hard with the baby.
Yeah.
Like the stroller just believes that it's the parent.
Yeah.
And it's just like, we're getting out of here.
Yeah.
They don't love you like I love you.
Yeah. Yeah, anybody watch Castle Rock? The Annie Wilkes?
Oh, yeah.
You know? It's just that. They're just pulling an Annie Wilkes. That's all.
They're just pulling
A Misery sequel?
an Annie Wilkes. They're just doing do you ever pull off a
Prequel?
180 Annie Wilkes in Tony Hawk?
Yeah.
God, that felt good.
Yeah.
do
Quick
is-
fakie to an Annie Wilkes.
Yeah, you do it as Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
Or as Spider-Man.
Yeah. Well, American Idiot plays.
That's right.
Absolutely.
But only 48 seconds of it.
Correct. So that was one of the things that I was intrigued by this
Yeah.
year at CES. I have another.
Okay.
Now this one is from Samsung, and this one is called the Bali, and it is an AI robot companion. You were just talking about how useless robot companions are.
Ollie.
This one was initially introduced at CES 2020, and they've given an updated version of it at the 2024 CES show. And this little guy is a projector that is also a robot friend, which is a hilarious combination. I've never looked at my projector and
my
been like,
goodness.
man, I wish you rolled around with me in my house.
No, I don't know why I
We gotta watch this video. I love it so much. It's a cute little guy. Look, they nailed it on the cuteness factor, which is gonna be the way we get robots into people's homes.
Yeah.
It's gotta be
Look.
cute or it's gonna be frightening, okay?
I think that Korean and Japanese electronics companies get robots way
Way
more than any other companies.
Absolutely.
Because they just know that it's like, we want it cute, we want it small, we want it unobtrusive, we want it to be a little buddy.
We want it to look like a little buddy. So some of the things they show in here is using the projector anywhere, and it like communicates to you. Like it showed the woman coming home from work, and it projected "welcome" on the floor because the projector moves around.
Great. That's one use.
They showed it projecting something for the dog to bird watch on the floor.
Nope,
they showed her
is not valid.
Working out and projecting on the wall so she could use it as her workout. It's just a projector that rolls around.
That's a television.
But they also showed it doing home surveillance.
Oh, like the Amazon narc.
So it can't do anything about it, but it showed it rolling over to her dog's food bowl and being like, "Feed your dog. Hey, dog's food bowl's empty."
Oh, very cool. Very cool. It's a roommate that doesn't pay rent but has a chore chart.
Yeah, reminds me to do my chores.
It's a roommate that doesn't contribute, but is like really mad when they make an elaborate chore chart and nobody does it.
They think that they contribute because their
they made
phone
the chart.
controls the smart lights.
They made the chart.
Yeah, their phone controls all your smart bulbs. So they kind of keep the house in check here. So it does have smart home capabilities. So you can be like, "Hey, Bali, turn on those lights." So it does what an Alexa does. My little ball Alexa.
Here's the thing. That's a gimmick robot.
It's so funny.
They're trying to push it as like a smart home thing that you need.
Yeah.
But what that is that's a gimmick robot. We have forgotten as a society that there are robots.
Yeah.
And then there are like iDogs. Mm-hmm. There are like little cute things that you just plug in.
Yeah.
To get the feeling of having a robot friend.
Oh man, I loved my iDog.
Oh, please. An
iDog was the shit.
iDog ruled the world.
Quick, before we actually show anybody it, does anybody remember iDog? Alex, did you ever have do you remember an iDog? Is that before your time?
I never had one, but I always wanted one.
Oh my God. And they would sit there and you'd connect it to your iPod and it would sit there and back and forth, wiggle its little ears to your music.
Yeah.
All right, Comrade Kia does.
Here's the...
All right, Brit's got it. Okay.
Here's my favorite iDog.
Is Anthony's screen working?
Here's my favorite iDog, which is the Spider-Man 2 or the Spider-Man 3 iDog.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, let's show that.
You could get it as regular, or you could get it as Venom.
Yeah, I had an iDog, and I loved that thing so very much. I took it everywhere with me. It was one of my favorite pieces of tech as a child.
But that's the thing is there are iDogs, there are Tamagotchis, there are things that are
robot buddies.
Robot buddies that are meant to give us the impression of the future and make us happy.
Yeah.
The problem is because AI and robotics are such buzzwords now.
Yeah.
Samsung wants to sell that thing as a useful product at useful product prices.
Right.
We're just like, absolutely fuck you.
Yeah.
That's a pocket projector.
Yeah.
And one of those really cool BB-8s that they used to sell.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
It's like building a robot at Disneyland where you can go and build a droid.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah.
And what does Samsung want for that thing? Probably like $1 billion.
Let's see here.
I bet
because it's not on market yet. I don't know if we actually have a price for it.
Yeah, if they don't announce the price at CES, that means they want 3 times more than you think it should be.
Yeah, so this is just on the news on Samsung's website. But yeah, Alex, if you would take a look and see if there is a price out there for it or an estimated price. What do you know about Moxie? You know anything about Moxie the robot?
Skywalker is quoting it at 800 in the live studio audience.
Okay.
Which is too much.
Yeah. You know anything about Moxie?
Yeah, I remember Moxie.
Friend of the show, Bose, has a Moxie.
No.
Yeah.
Bose does not have a Moxie.
Bose absolutely has a Moxie.
For what?
For using on stream. It's hilarious.
Oh, okay.
It's great content.
Yeah,
it's wonderful. Yeah. I love her Moxie videos. Fantastic. That thing, a weird little guy. That thing is a weird little guy.
The problem I had with the Moxie is there were a couple robots that came out around the same time with this.
Yeah.
Which is the face is too cartoony detailed.
So cute.
For the body, which is like simple.
Yeah.
That body silhouette should have like just 2 round eyes. You know, it should look like Eva. It should look like Eva from Eve from WALL-E. Mm-hmm. Instead, it has like this Nicktoons, like Nick Jr. 3D animated face.
Yeah.
And I fucking hate it. It looks like a human boy is trapped in there.
I love it. Alex has successfully fact-checked for us. In the chat, we have no estimated price, but saying it might compete with the Amazon Home Robot, which is $1,600.
Which, what are you competing to do? Sell the first one after it being out for 3 years?
Yeah. racing to it.
racing to see who will sell the first robot. This is like, what are companies doing?
I got one more.
$25 million episodes of TV.
Yeah.
$1,600 projectors that roll around.
Yeah.
They have no connection to reality.
Well, hey, let's keep going with the weird tech from CES.
This I saw. Our friend Trisha Hirschberger did a great video about weird stuff at CES.
So
This is one of the things that she covered.
this is the Wii Head. The Wii Head is so fucking strange.
If you're going to look it up, please turn Safe Search on.
Yeah. Be careful with that. So Wii Head is the weirdest looking. I don't understand why they would ever make it look this way when we have better technology for making something look like a face. Wii Head is a GPT embodied LLM that helps you with brainstorming, decision making, and self-reflection.
Okay.
For thinking out loud at home or office anytime you need it on any topic.
So this is the same chatbot that everybody is trying to build into every product, whether it needs it or not.
Yeah.
And instead of building it into a product we're already using, they decided to build the useless product into an even more useless product.
Now, it looks like it has a phone in it sideways. I just don't understand the shape of this screen in any capacity. Like, because it's not more human looking.
No, it is, because it has side panels for ear.
But like,
No, it's human now. That's
what's
the
the reason for this part?
Wait, that's the Wii Head? I thought that was a guy. You're telling me that's not a guy.
What's the reason for this?
Saige,
Explain this to me.
eyes? You have them. Saige, if that's not a guy, then how come ear on the side?
Look at it. It's not even aligned with his nose.
Saige, if that's not a guy, how come side panels just like guy?
Genuinely bananas looking. So it's just a chatbot that talks back to you. So they have two options for it here. Okay, ready? So you can have the available. I think this might be like a pre-order, but we had GPT edition, $4,950.
But Saige, what if I know that it's the most useful thing in the world? And I know it in my heart because it is.
So $5,000
And
for
$5,000, yeah, and $5,000 is a fair price. But Saige, I just don't have the money right now to live in the future. What can I do?
Well, you can rent it. For only $199 a month.
Oh, let's fucking rent one.
I mean, we could do 1 month.
For a month, we can rent it.
I mean,
Unless they make us sign like a year lease on,
Right.
on a human head.
we could write it off if we can rent it for 1 month. Here's the thing.
If we can rent it for a month.
Genuinely, if we can rent it for 1 month, it'd be
Hey,
worth it for the content.
You know where we know for a fact a human head sits great.
Yeah.
Look at this, Saige. Right here. Right here. If we don't have to do 12 months minimum, rent the head. Let's get
break
the
this
head
down.
in here. We'll
Build
take
monthly. Guys, hey, I know that says sugar breakfast on the back right there, that donation goal that's running on the screens behind us. But it's actually a rent a Wii Head for a month to co-host the show with us goal now.
Yeah, so give us your money.
It's $199.
Listen, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. But this is exactly what I'm talking about with the difference between like Japanese and Korean companies and then the rest of the world when they try to make a robot. Samsung goes, you're gonna talk to this thing. We need to make sure that it's cute and it's adorable and you want to talk to it. America goes, must look like Chad.
Yeah.
Must look like
Robo-Chad.
Must look like strong man with jaw and stubble.
Robo Chad.
Look like crypto bro you can trust.
Guys, we're gonna rent a Robo Chad.
I'm looking in the terms and conditions, and
Yeah.
they're hilarious. It's
Tell
like,
us about it.
we
Let's go
kiss
to the
it?
Alex Cam. Tell
Are
us
we allowed
everything.
to kiss it? Does it say anything in the terms about making out with it?
it says you will use the Wii Head product only for personal use and in accordance with its intended use. There's a written documentation. You will
Okay.
maintain the product in accordance with all instructions. You may not remove any warning product or identification labels or markings upon it.
Does it look like I can stick my tongue in its ear?
It does say you shall bear all risk of destruction, loss, or damage to the Wii Head product. So
Emotional as well.
What are you saying about my technique for sticking tongues in ears?
it's also got a $20 power cord and adapter for a $5,000 product is $20 power cord.
Dude, the fact that the upcharging on power cables goes all the way up to a $5,000 product, that's beautiful. Thank you. That Apple really did something.
Thank you very much, Alex.
funny.
Tim Cook really did something there.
Hey, speaking of Apple,
Hey, speaking of Apple,
we got one more story.
hey, do you want do you like the disconcerting electronic eyes of the Wii head and say, why can't I have disconcerting electronic eyes? People look at me and they don't go, why are your eyes so disconcerting?
Yeah. We can change that for you for also $1 million with the Apple Vision Pro. So the Apple
Job
Vision
simulator, but for $4,000.
The Apple Vision Pro, of course, is Apple's exorbitantly priced VR headset. Now, though it is available at consumer level or going to be available at consumer level, we know realistically that this is not actually its use based on the price point. They're going to fuck around. They're going to sell it to some companies. They're going to do it for job training. They're going to get corporate money, and they're going to get a couple of tech nerds that are willing to spend the Apple money on it.
Saige,
like Apple tech nerds specifically.
Saige, they showed specifically in their video cool dad wearing goggles with scary eyes taking video at his kid's birthday.
Yeah.
Scary eye dad walk around.
Yeah. Robo dad.
And capture memories in 3-dimensional space.
Are you telling me there are dads that go to their kids' birthday parties?
Are you telling me there are dads?
No shit.
Seems weird.
Can they do that?
Can dads go to your birthday parties? Depends on the dad and the legal documentation.
My mom told me that dads can't go to birthday parties.
Yeah, because they're allergic and they'll die.
Yeah. Okay, Apple. Fact check yourself.
But that's why dads need the goggles, is so they can virtually attend the birthdays.
Oh, okay, cool.
No, Apple wants this, of course, to be something that's in everybody's home, but they're starting the same way they always do with their new products, and they're saying, if you want it, it's going to be a little spicy pricey.
Yes. Now, they are doing things, though, that are definitely for the consumer level market in that it's launching with a ton of streaming apps. Anthony, are the streaming apps on Oculus?
Yes, but the big deal with Apple is making a lot of deals with streaming platforms to bring 3D and spatial content to the Apple. So, you know, the first thing you do when you get a VR headset is you're always like, can I watch like 3D movies on this thing? Can I make my house into a movie theater? And Apple's like, okay, how do we make sure that we do that in a way that really shows this thing off?
Yeah.
Because actually, if you do that with your VR headset, you're mostly disappointed because the media players are like broken half the time.
Hey, look, we had a great time in big screen and quarantine, and that was a wonderful experience, but you know, it's not this. So I
think they've been filming a lot of their Apple stuff for Apple TV in advance with spatial audio and 3D visuals so they can bring it in at launch. But I think
put Ted Lasso straight into your fucking eye socket.
Listen, here's the thing that Ted Lasso was missing for all of those massive action sequences in Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
Just a little 3D.
Well, football is life. I'm gonna be on the field, baby.
I want to see Ted Lasso handing me. Actually, this is actually good.
Yeah.
Ted Lasso handing me a biscuit and telling me everything's gonna be okay, but in 3D.
God, that'd
with
be
spatial
good.
audio, like Ted Lasso's really there.
Yeah.
Wow. Not Jason Sudeikis.
No.
Ted Lasso.
But Jason Sudeikis, it is another one of those occasions. Like we get that. What was that musical? That's like. You know what makes me crazy? I'm sorry. Can I say this? The sound that goes around on TikTok all the time, where it's like written by a man that really thought he was right. And you're like, wow, he wrote this about his actual marriage and thought everybody's going to agree with me that I'm the good guy in this situation.
Right.
Jason Sudeikis is also one of those people.
That's right.
Anyways.
And now he's that person in 3D spatial audio.
So it says here, arriving on the Vision Pro at release, Amazon Prime Video, Crunchyroll, Discovery Plus, Disney Plus, Fubo?
Yeah, Fubo.
IMAX, Max, Paramount Plus, Peacock, Pluto TV, Red Bull TV, and Tubi. And
whoa, Tubi?
Yeah, they got Tubi, baby.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Hey.
I'm just waiting on my Roku originals.
Do you know what Tubi?
What's the fucking point?
Do you know what Tubi reminds me of?
What?
This is a very specific thing that's personal to me. I had a friend who wanted, more than anything, wanted to own his own video game and comic store.
Okay.
And when we were like 20 years old, he started renting a table at the flea market.
Okay.
Not even like the nice flea market, just a
Sure.
flea market. And he started with just his own personal collection. And he moved from that dirt mall to a real mall, a classy mall, and owns a comic book store now.
Good for him.
Tubi is that story.
Yeah.
Tubi is truly a rags to slightly less rags story.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tubi is truly just like dream medium and you can make it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, keep it within sight. You know what I mean? Lee Green Griffin said, will it have Quibi? People are asking about Voodoo. I'm asking about Roku.
Yeah, what's gonna
You know
happen
what I mean?
to what's gonna happen to all my Voodoo codes that I got with my
Yeah.
Blu-rays?
I was actually surprised to see Plex not on that list with how much of like Freevee and stuff is like available through Plex now, actually.
I think these are the ones that have made launch marketing deals with Apple.
Money.
I have no doubt Plex will be there for you. I have no doubt.
I think so too.
The media streaming services of piracy will be there for you when you need them.
There's also non-piracy on Plex.
That's true.
And lots of also piracy on Plex.
That's right.
But the one I think that had me the most absolutely shooketh, they said they're anticipating getting TikTok.
Breakfast cars in 3D?
Hey guys, I know we're not all getting the Vision Pro, obviously. Most of us aren't getting the Vision Pro because we can't afford the Vision Pro.
Hey, Saige, have I
But
ever showed
do
you
wanna-
breakfast cars?
No.
No?
I don't
You haven't
remember.
seen breakfast
I haven't
cars?
seen them. I do want to caution us all with TikTok and VR. That's going to be really bad for us. I feel like the pipelines are about to pipeline harder than ever. I feel like the doom scroll is about to scroll harder than it's ever been,
to
faster
me.
than we've ever scrolled.
ADHD and autism are about to have 10,000 more symptoms that are not actually ADHD and autism symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to get all the good misinformation. People are going to be like, have you ever seen a plant and been like, I don't like the way the plant looks in that room? That could be plant sensitivity that comes with ADHD.
Yeah.
It's a very real problem.
It could be.
It's a very real problem.
You know, my therapist looked at me yesterday when I was like, I don't know, if I'm not in control of the plan can change. And I hate when plans change. And she went, and she giggled a little bit. And I went, yes, I know that is a symptom of autism. And she's like, I wrote it down, but I wasn't going to say it out loud.
It's like,
and I was like,
do you know that
I love you for that.
do you know that derisively giggling is worse than saying it out loud?
I
Do
love
you?
my therapist. She's wonderful.
No, get yourself a therapist that derisively giggles at you
Yeah.
just a little bit.
But she did say, I wrote it down, but I wasn't going to say it out loud. And I was like, that's fair. That's fair. And she was like, maybe put me in contact with your psych. And I was like, okay. That's so fair. That's so fair, bestie.
Yeah, the things that I watch on TikTok, I don't necessarily need in 3D or want in 3D. I don't want to spatially walk through any of these videos.
I just picture it because of the AR technology, which is the thing that is unique about the Vision Pro and is cool if it wasn't astronomically expensive.
Sure.
Is I can just picture myself and I like it, and that's the problem. Laying in bed and TikTok is projected onto my ceiling, right? And I'm going like this and I'm scrolling.
Saige. Saige,
Yeah?
have I not told you, have you not heard the good word about ceiling projectors?
I know about, you've told me about ceiling projectors. You have.
Have you ever watched breakfast cars on a ceiling projector?
What are breakfast cars?
Have you not seen breakfast cars?
No.
Remind me to show you breakfast cars. You can get, they're always on sale. You can get, thank you, with audio, please.
I've
audio-
never seen this before.
No, the audio is an
I've never seen this
important
before.
part of it.
I've never seen this before. Nope. I don't recognize it.
Beep, beep,
Nope.
breakfast
Still,
cars.
I have
beep,
no idea
beep.
what that is. Yep. I don't know what that is.
You can get yourself
First time mentioning it.
You can get yourself a projector with Android TV for like $50. I watch so many things on my ceiling.
But I'm talking TikTok
Yeah,
specifically.
I watch TikTok. I control it with my remote.
No shit.
Yeah, dude,
I don't think I should have that.
you absolutely should.
I don't think I should have that.
It's so good.
I fall asleep watching TikToks, and then the TikToks are in my dreams. And
Yeah,
because
same.
one is just replaying next to my ear because I've fallen asleep like this with my phone, cradling it.
I have told you, yeah,
And it's
I
just
whispering
whispering in my ear like Dexter's Lab.
Yeah.
It's omelette du fromage.
Except it's about how the left is stealing everything from us.
It's about the proper weight of your facial features for certain makeup looks.
That's right.
You know?
It's a pipeline, and it's a pipeline that repeats every 5 seconds over and over forever.
Yeah.
I've told you that I have arguments with podcasts in my sleep.
I do know that.
I
do know that
I will
about
be
you. You have
listening to
told me that.
I will be listening to a podcast and I will be sleeping, and it's not even a I mostly listen to like D&D podcasts,
Yeah.
like actual play podcasts. So it's like role playing stuff. I will get so mad that they skip my turn in initiative. I will like yell at them for like not listening to me when I'm like,
Yeah.
But I'm not there. I'm not. And then what happens is I wake up and instead of having like a fun parasocial relationship with the people on these podcasts,
pissed off.
I'm mad at them.
Yeah.
I'm mad at them for not listening to me.
A couple times recently, I've woken myself up giggling, and that felt bad.
No, that's probably
That's
good.
freaky. That's freaky. And you do not want to do that with another person in the room. You don't want to giggle in your sleep. Not laugh. A
No.
laugh would be okay, but for some reason, a giggle is not. When you wake yourself up going,
Well, do you? Yeah.
oh, that's bad.
Like a sinister giggle.
Yeah.
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 Like a Donnie Darko giggling in his sleep.
It's not good. It's really
Like
not
when
good.
like when Jake Gyllenhaal is standing at the end of your hallway like this.
Yeah. You don't want that. No
don't
one
want
wants that. I think that's it. I don't think that I should give myself anything more of TikTok.
No.
I don't think TikTok should be bigger or a bigger portion of my life than it is.
God, but you haven't lived until you've fallen asleep to a 3-hour documentary about the universe on your ceiling.
Now, currently I have a ceiling fan, so I wouldn't be able to. But if these old people will please give me the apartment that I'm asking for, maybe I could have a ceiling projector because I will no longer have a ceiling fan.
What do you need with a whole apartment though? You're just a little lady.
I'm just a little lady.
What do you need that for?
Why aren't you renting a room in a lady's house?
Yeah.
You know, in a house for
Couldn't
spinster
you-
women.
I don't understand why you don't. If you need a place to live, why don't you just become a nanny? So weird.
There's got to be some old, some collection of spinsters that you could probably home with until you find yourself a suitable mate.
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
Probably. All right, everybody. That's all the show that we have time for today. Thank you so much for joining us. We do this show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific. If it's not 9 a.m. when we start, where you are, you're wrong because we started right on fucking time today like we do every day.
That's right. And is that defensive? Shut up.
Whoa. What a weird accusation.
Yeah. That's nuts. Should we sing about how I'm right by a lake?
And hey, if this just isn't enough for you, 3 days a week, you're like,
Yeah.
God, I wish I could get more of Saige and Anthony talking.
Well, don't worry, because we're 7 days a week now, and we're a 6-hour-long show.
Or you can go to patreon.com/pixelcircus and get a bonus clip from the show every week. We'll record you a new one on Friday. But once you subscribe, you can get access to the whole backlog. You can have us on demand. You can have us at your whim. You can have all of these little clippies.
Are we in spatial audio yet?
No, but it's too early. Will be coming on the Apple Vision Pro, being able to be projected into your room, telling you about all the things you care about and at least one thing you don't.
Until then, just join the Patreon. It's the next best thing.
It is only $5 a month to get a bonus clip from It's Too Early every week and access to all the other neat stuff on there. New stuff coming very soon. And go check out me sitting down and like lightly interviewing Xander from last week. It was kind of neat.
That's lovely.
We love Xander so much.
We do.
There are a ton of ways to support us, but the number one thing you can do is just show up and watch the show. You can watch it on Twitch. You can watch it on YouTube. You can listen to it on Spotify. It's cool. It's
cool.
neat. We like it.
Very
Thank you.
cool. But you can also head on over to the Discord. Become for free. Become part of the community. Suggest stories. We love it when you suggest stories.
Yeah.
We also love it when you happen to share when we go live in the morning.
We love it.
Sharing the show with your friends is just really wonderful.
It's
and
so
we appreciate it.
Thank you so much this morning to Flatlander, to Wolf of Herkheimer. Thank you to Jeremiah, all for sharing that we were doing a live show this morning and telling people to come and watch it. That was very kind of you.
Yeah.
Anthony, where else can people watch you?
You can find me everywhere on the internet at Carboni, except for here on Twitch, where I'm at Anthony Carboni. Twitch, you cowards, it's mine. Give it back to me. I'm going to be streaming early this afternoon.
Ooh.
Probably going to be playing a little bit of that Death Must Die because I'm obsessed.
Ooh.
Saige, what about you?
You can find me everywhere on the internet at Not Saige. I stream on my channel Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. And would you look at that? It's Wednesday. So I'll be live tonight at 6. Alex, how about you? Welcome back. Where else can you be?
Thank you. I'm so excited to be back. You can find me on Twitter at Alder_Mancy, and I also stream on Saturdays at 9 a.m. PST, my D&D game Strange Hungers.
All of your streams are 9 a.m.
Yeah.
What a weird
bright
world.
and early.
Yeah.
That's the hustle grind set.
Oh, it's because of the hustle grind set.
Listen, he has streamed more by 9 a.m. than most people have done all day.
So keep that in mind.